Let's say you want to start your own business and you want to enter a few figures in a spreadsheet to check how much you have to sell in your first month to achieve a profit of 100 euros. Let's also say that you plan to sell your products at twice that of your costs, or equivalently, that your costs are half that of your revenues. How much will your revenues have to be? And how much will your costs be? I give you 5 seconds to come up with an answer. Okay, you probably figured out that you need to reach 200 euros in revenues, which imply 100 euros of costs for a 100 euro profit. Shall we try to use a computer? Let's open Excel to develop this simple model. Okay, we are in Excel now. Let me zoom in so that you can see better. As we said before, profits are the difference between revenues and costs. Costs. And in this case, we want to achieve a 100 euro profit. Okay, then costs are half that of revenues. Okay, we need to manipulate a little these equations. Like this, we can say that revenues are the sum of profits and costs. In this case, profits are 100 euros. So we want to use this given number, and then we know that costs are again half that of revenues. Okay, so let's punch in these equations now using these numbers to see what the computer can do. So basically, revenues are the 100 euro profit, which is in cell B3. I'll put these dollars here, you know what they mean, and I'll add these to costs. And then costs will be half that of revenues. Okay, here's the problem. We can call it this way. We have a circular reference. Let's see what we can do to find a solution. Almost inevitably, you will end up entering circular references in a financial model. In this little example, it's quite straightforward that we've already entered one. How can we tell Excel to solve this circular reference, which is basically a reciprocal relationship between two cells? We have to enable iterative computation. So in preferences in Excel, on a Mac it's Command, comma, or you can go to Excel and then select preferences. You will have this under formulas and lists, calculation, and you will have to enable use iterative calculation. Confirm, and okay, I will select the cells and I will, okay, it's 200 and 100 euros. Excel has calculated these numbers for us. Whenever you develop a financial model using Excel, you have to make sure that iterative calculation, iterative computation is enabled. Again, calculation, use iterative calculation. This has to be enabled. What does Excel do in the background to carry out that computation? I show you using the Gauss-Seidel method. Okay, let's disable this use iterative calculation here, and okay, we'll receive this warning message. Again, what we can do now here is we know what revenues are and we know what costs are. Revenues are profits plus, revenues plus costs, okay? And at the moment, we know that costs are half that of revenues. Let's assume that at the moment, costs are 400 euros, okay? If costs are 400 euros, then revenues will be 500, but let me check. Profit is 500 minus 400, which figures, of course, but in this case, costs aren't half that of revenues. So we know that revenues, as we said before, revenues twice as much costs, that is, costs would be 250 if revenues are 500. And if costs are 250, then revenues, based on this equation, will be 350, which yields a profit of 100. But still, costs aren't half that of revenues. So if we continue like this, iterating, we will carry out after the 10th iteration, we will reach the same result as Excel has achieved using iterative computation. What does Excel do in the background? It does exactly what we've just done.